She said her mom was a SEAL. No one believed her until the team arrived in full gear.
On the quiet streets of Clearwater, Florida, a young girl named Emily walked through her neighborhood like any other teenager. But there was one thing that set her apart, something she had always been told not to brag about. Emily's mother was no ordinary woman. She was a Navy SEAL, and not just any SEAL, one of the few women ever to complete the grueling training. Emily had mentioned it to her classmates more than once, casually dropping hints about her mother's service, expecting maybe a little awe, or at least some curiosity. But instead, she was met with laughter, disbelief, and the inevitable teasing that comes when someone tells a story that seems almost impossible. "Yeah, right, your mom's a SEAL," they would say. "Sure, Emily." She tried to explain the discipline, the missions, and the sheer physical endurance her mother had endured, but no one believed her, and the more she insisted, the more the doubt grew. Even the local adults treated it like a tall tale, until one day, everything changed. It started as a normal morning. Emily was waiting outside her school when a strange hum filled the air. Cars slowed. People turned to look. In the distance, a convoy of black SUVs appeared, moving with purpose. And behind the tinted windows and reinforced doors, a team of elite soldiers had arrived. Her mother's team. The moment they stepped out, clad in full tactical gear, the disbelief on the faces of her classmates was unmistakable. Bulky vests, helmets, night vision goggles, and rifles held with practiced ease. They moved with precision, coordinating with hand signals and subtle nods, like a choreography honed by years of intense training, and everyone watching could feel the gravity of it. Emily's mother finally looked toward her daughter, and for a brief moment, the stern, professional mask softened into a proud, almost protective smile. Then came the moment that shattered the remaining doubts. A local reporter, emboldened by the spectacle, shouted, "Are you really a Navy SEAL?" Commander Reynolds didn't answer verbally. Instead, she signaled her team, and in an instant they demonstrated a rapid tactical drill, skills Emily had only seen in videos or heard about in bedtime stories. Breaching doors, clearing obstacles, moving as one cohesive unit. It was flawless, precise, and terrifying in its intensity. The students and staff couldn't move. Whispers turned to murmurs of disbelief, then into gasps. Phones continued to record, capturing the moment that would soon go viral. Emily's classmates now realized this wasn't exaggeration, and it certainly wasn't fiction. Her mother was exactly who she claimed to be, a Navy SEAL, trained to the highest level, respected in a world most people could never even imagine entering. But while the crowd marveled, Emily's mother and her team weren't just performing. They were there on urgent business. Commander Reynolds crouched near Emily, speaking quickly in a low voice. "You're going to see things today that will change everything you thought you knew." Her eyes scanned the perimeter, warning Emily that this wasn't a show, it was real. And in that instant, Emily understood. The disbelief, the teasing, the laughter, it had all been irrelevant, because now there was no denying the truth, and what her mother was about to do would leave a mark on everyone present, forever changing the way they looked at courage, loyalty, and the hidden strength behind quiet words. Emily barely had time to process her mother's words before the team moved with urgent precision. They weren't there for a show. Something critical had just unfolded in the city, and Commander Reynolds was leading her squad to handle it. Emily followed closely, her heart pounding. She had always admired her mother from afar, but now, standing just a few feet away as the SEAL team executed commands, admiration turned into awe. Each team member had a role, moving with silent efficiency, one scanning rooftops, another checking the perimeter, while a third set up advanced communication equipment. The scene looked like a live operation straight out of a classified military video. Emily's mind raced. How is this real? The precision, the discipline, it wasn't just training, it was life or death experience on display. Commander Reynolds crouched near Emily again, whispering instructions. "Stay close, stay quiet, watch and learn, but don't interfere."
Emily nodded, realizing she was about to witness the world her mother lived in, the dangerous, high-stakes life most people only read about. Suddenly, the team halted. Through night vision scopes and tactical monitors, they had located the target. A suspect had been spotted moving near a restricted area, carrying unknown equipment. The SEALs communicated through hand signals, plotting a careful approach. Every movement was deliberate, controlled, and deadly precise. Emily felt a mixture of fear and pride. Her mother wasn't just a story anymore. Commander Reynolds led the team forward, coordinating a silent approach that minimized risk while maximizing efficiency. Every step, every glance, every command demonstrated years of training, discipline, and courage that Emily had only ever heard about in whispered stories at home. Then, in an instant, the situation escalated. The suspect noticed them and bolted. Without hesitation, the SEALs sprang into action, moving like a single organism. Emily watched, heart in her throat, as her mother executed maneuvers she had described but never truly shown. A precise hand signal, a calculated sprint, and the team cornered the suspect without a single misstep. The operation ended almost as quickly as it began. The suspect was apprehended, the threat neutralized, and the crowd of onlookers, including Emily's classmates, was left in stunned silence. Whispers of disbelief had turned into murmurs of awe as everyone realized the truth. Emily's mother wasn't just a legend in stories. She was a warrior, a protector, and someone who lived a life most could never imagine. And as the dust settled, Emily felt an overwhelming mix of pride and understanding. She now knew the real weight of her mother's words, the hidden sacrifices, and the immense courage behind a life most would never see. With the suspect apprehended and the immediate threat neutralized, the SEAL team gathered, checking each other, ensuring everyone was safe. Emily stood a little apart, still catching her breath, trying to process what she had just witnessed. The reality of her mother's world had finally hit her. This was no story, no exaggeration. This was real life, measured in seconds, precision, and courage. Commander Reynolds approached Emily, kneeling down to meet her gaze. "You see now what it means to serve, to protect, and to endure. Being a SEAL isn't just about strength or skill. It's about integrity, responsibility, and knowing that your actions affect everyone around you." Emily nodded, tears welling in her eyes. Pride, awe, and a newfound respect all mixed together. She finally understood the weight of the words she had said so many times before. Her classmates had doubted her, laughed at her, dismissed her stories. But standing here, watching the very people who trained, fought, and risked everything, she felt a deep sense of vindication. As the team packed up and prepared to leave, the students gathered cautiously, still amazed, still whispering among themselves. Emily's mother gave a small wave before heading back to her SUV. It was a simple gesture, but for Emily, it spoke volumes. Strength balanced with humility, courage balanced with care. That day changed Emily. She learned that true heroes don't need applause or recognition. They act, often in silence, guided by discipline and dedication. And sometimes the truth is so incredible that no one believes it until they see it with their own eyes. Emily returned to her classmates, head held high, carrying a quiet confidence. She didn't need to prove herself anymore. The proof had arrived in full gear, with precision and authority that words alone could never convey. And as the sun set over Clearwater, one thing was certain. Stories of courage, sacrifice, and extraordinary skill don't need validation. They just need to be lived, and sometimes witnessed firsthand.